Hari Om everyone. I welcome all of you to yet another wonderful session of Gita Jyoti. Today we will be learning Bhagavad Gita Shloka 8.15 and 8.16. Let us begin with Shloka chanting. I request all of you to please keep your back straight, close your eyes, chant along with the person who's repeating the shloka, but with your mic on mute. I request Megha and Snigdha to please help us with this shloka.
माम् उपेत्य पुनर्जन्म
Mam upetya punarjanma
दुःखालयमशाश्वतम्
duḥkha-ālayam aśhāśhvatam
नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः
nāpnuvanti mahā-ātmānaḥ
संसिद्धिं परमां गता
sansiddhiṁ paramāṁ gatāḥ
माम् उपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयमशाश्वतम् नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः संसिद्धिं परमां गता.
Mrinal, could you please read the meaning?
Yes, Manya. Having attained me, the great souls are no more subject to rebirth in this world, which is transient and full of misery, because they have attained the highest perfection.
Thank you. Now we have Diya, Disha and Kripalini who will help us with this shloka.
ā-brahma-bhuvanāl lokāḥ
ā-brahma-bhuvanāl lokāḥ
पुनरावर्तिनो rjuna
पुनरावर्तिनो जुनः
मामुपेत्य तु kaunteya
मामुपेत्य तु कौन्तेय
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते
पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते.
Dear Disha, please repeat the whole shloka once.
ā-brahma-bhuvanāl lokāḥ पुनरावर्तिनो rjuna मामुपेत्य तु kaunteya पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते.
Let's
Hriday,
read.
could you
Right,
please read the meaning? Hriday,
Yes,
could you please read the meaning?
yes.
You can start now.
In all worlds of this material creation, up to the highest abode of Brahma, you will be subject to rebirth, O Arjun. But on attaining my abode, O son of Kunti, there is no further rebirth.
Thank you, Hriday. Now let us understand
Welcome.
the meaning of the shloka. So just a recap in simple words, what shloka 1 is telling us is that this world is transient and that it's full of misery. The shloka is also telling us that having attained Krishna, the great souls are no more subject to rebirth in this world. So what does this mean? Let's break it down into the simplest forms and understand. Now let's do something that's really fun. Can you all see this genie lamp? Before I move forward, I would request all of you to turn on your videos because this entire session is so fun. You don't want to miss it out because you'll not be able to have as much fun if you turn your videos off. Great, I can see all of you now. So can you see this genie lamp? So there's one magic word. If you tell it 3 times, something's gonna happen. Okay? So let me tell you the magic word, but don't disclose this to anybody. So the magic word is jago. So we're gonna say this 3 times. Okay, so I'd request all of you to tell it with me. You can also do this when you're saying Jago, Jago, Jago. Oh, look, who's here? The genie. And what does the genie do? Does someone know?
He grants our wishes.
Very nice, Tejas. It's correct. The genie grants wishes. So today, let's just say it's your lucky day, and the genie grants 3 wishes. So the genie is saying, "Hey, what are the 3 wishes? What's the greatest thing you desire for?" Who wants to be that lucky person to answer? Yes, Megha.
My greatest desire is to go on a peaceful vacation away from all the bustling life of a city.
Okay, that's one wish. Yes, Hriday. What's your wish? What's your wish?
To like see God.
To?
See God.
To see God. Very nice, Hriday. Very interesting. Yes, Tejas.
My wish is to be able to speak and understand animals.
Wow. That's so nice. To speak to animals, to be able to understand them. Very nice. So these are 3 wishes. Now I want to ask one of you. I'm sure all of us have those. You all can think of any 3 wishes that you really desire for at this point of life. Just think about it. Now I want to ask a question. Who wants to answer this? Very easy question. Yes, yes, Nigda. So just to to be able to understand your answer, I just want to know what was your wish?
My wish was like to own like I want to like get lots of puppies and or like take care of them and all that, like own a daycare and all that.
Oh
For
wow,
puppies.
interesting. So your wish is to have a lot of puppies and to take care of them. So let me now throw the question at you. So now let's say the genie says, "Okay, Snigdha, I grant your wish." And all of a sudden you have all these puppies around you and you're taking care of them. Like this very second, just imagine you have all the puppies around you. Now I want to ask you this very moment when you got what you desired for the most, do you think for the rest of the life this is all you're going to desire? Will this keep you happy for the rest of your life? Is there nothing else you will ever desire? Because this is your biggest desire and you got all the happiness. You're very happy, right? You're very happy. So do you think you'll be happy the entire life with just these puppies? You're not going to want anything else?
No, not really. Like at least like 90% of my happiness is like in the puppies, but then 10% of happiness is still in other things.
Okay, so let's all try to understand Snigda's answer. And I think this is something all of us would agree to. So we have so many, plenty of wishes, right? So even if some of them are fulfilled and we just go on getting each and every one of them fulfilled, what you'll start to realize is that as soon as the wish is fulfilled, you'll be really happy for sure. But then after some time, the happiness is going to evaporate and you'll want something else. You'll get some happiness, then that too will evaporate. And similarly, you may get a bit of happiness in these little materialistic things that you desire for, but this happiness, you will observe that it is never permanent. You can think of examples. So I'm sure, when is the last time you really wanted an ice cream and you had that ice cream? You were so happy having that ice cream. You enjoyed it to the greatest extent possible. You thought to yourself, this ice cream is so delicious. But after having it, the happiness comes down, right? So there's this peak of happiness and then it comes down. That is what Krishna is telling us through this shloka, that there is happiness in this world, but that happiness is not permanent. It keeps changing. So your emotions, it keeps changing. That's because the world itself is changing. Your desires keep changing. And that's what Krishna means when he says the world is transient. Transient is something that's not permanent, which keeps changing. So you can, I'm sure you all understand. Okay, let's just take a very simple example. So let's say you are studying some subject. Okay, let's say we are studying math today. So you understand math and you're really happy that you're able to solve some particular sum. But sometimes we are really worried, right? Oh, what's going to happen if a very difficult problem comes in exam? What's going to happen when the next chapter, which most people say it's very difficult, what if that chapter is something that I just can't understand? Show me a thumbs up if we all have these kind of feelings at least once. Yes, we all do. So every moment we're kind of thinking about different things. We're really worried. No matter what we really get in life, we always have some other desire. There's no particular thing that'll make us happy forever, right? So that's what Krishna is telling us through this shloka. Now let's experiment. Why are we doing this experiment, by the way? We're doing this because in the first shloka, not only does Krishna tell us that the world is transient, it keeps changing, there's full of misery, but he also tells us that there are some great wise masters who have realized Krishna, who have realized the truth, and they are free from the cycle of birth and death. Now let us understand what Krishna is trying to tell us. We also listened to this very wonderful story that Megha narrated to us today, wherein she explained us what happens after death. And she also asked a very interesting question. What do you all think happens once you die? So Tejas gave us a very interesting answer. He told us that the different kinds of lokas, there is one loka where there are these nagas, so the different creatures and different lokas. So we have all of these different ideas about life after death, right? So what does Krishna mean when one becomes free from the cycle of birth and death? What is rebirth? How do you get free? So for all of these, we get answers after this experiment. So before we begin the experiment, there's a challenge. And what's the challenge? You need to get a pen and a paper in 30 seconds. But if you already do have it, then you're in luck. Your time starts now. Show me a thumbs up if you all have the pen and paper. Wow, we've aced this challenge. Within 10 seconds, you just got a pen and a paper out of nowhere. Very nice. So what's this experiment? Just take a fresh sheet of paper and I want you to draw two lines like this. Okay, I guess very nice. Most of us are done. So I want you to write then here on the left hand side column. Done? Very nice. Now listen to this carefully. We also want to volunteer one lucky person. Who wants to be that? Yes, Shreyas. Great. We have Shreyas for this. So Shreyas, I'm going to ask you some questions and you'll have to answer this. So before that, I'll give you some context. I want you to think about the child you were, that is Shreyas, Tejas, Snigdha. I want all of you to think about how you were, let's say 7 years back. Maybe when you were 5-year-old or 6-year-old, that small little child, right? Just go back how much ever possible. Just go back and think like that child, and you'll answer these questions in that child's perspective. And the answers to these questions is what you're going to write on the left column. You'll just write one by one below the other. So yes, Shreyas, the first question is, what was your favorite game?
Running and catching.
Okay, Shreyas' favorite game is running and catching. So I request all of you to write your favorite game in the left column. It can be a word. Write it as short as you can. That's the challenge. The next question. What was something that you were really, really good at? It can be anything, blowing bubbles, catching butterflies, anything. So, Shreyas, what was something that you were really good at?
Eating yogurts.
Eating yogurt. Very nice, Shreyas. Okay, I guess we're done. This is your third question. What was your favorite thing to watch on TV?
Paw Patrol.
Sorry?
Paw Patrol.
Pocket?
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. Okay. Very nice. We can all write our answers. Also, if you didn't watch TV, you can write your favorite book or something that you really liked reading, maybe. So, this is your fourth question. Write the name of your best friend. Then, who is your best friend, Shreyas?
Now or that time?
Then.
Rishan.
Rishabh.
Rishan.
Rishank.
Rishan. Okay, I'll just write.
Okay. So remember, answer all of these questions in the perspective of that little child. These are the then questions. Okay, here's your last question. What made you feel very scared?
The dark.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Show me a thumbs up if we're all done answering these questions. Very nice. Now, thank you so much, Shreyas, but please stay on mute. Please stay unmuted. There's some more things we'd want you to answer. So now that you have a bunch of answers written, I want you to write now on the right hand side.
Okay. Wrote it.
Very nice. Now, I want you to answer some questions in how you would answer them today. Basically, just tell me about the question in today's perspective. Like, what's your answer today now, right? What is your favorite game now?
Badminton.
Badminton. Okay, requesting all of you to write it.
Snehita, Megha, I have a question.
Yes, Sohan.
Can we write 2 also?
Sure, you can write 2.
10 5 also, 2 to 3 you can write.
You can write 3 and think of how many ever you want. But you can write, the maximum you can write is 3. But I'd be really happy if you can write 1 of them, the most favorite one. Great. So I'm assuming all of you are done. Here's the second question. What is something you're really good at today? What's something you're really good at today, Shreyas?
In sports and studies.
Very nice. Please write it down. Great. Here's the third question. What's your favorite thing to watch today? What do you watch?
Like YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. Okay, you can write YouTube. You can also write what are the things you really like watching on YouTube?
Like I watch whatever comes. I don't have a specific name for it. Like,
Got it. You watch the recommended videos.
yeah.
You can probably also write your favorite YouTube channel's name. I don't know if you all know about this channel. It's called Dr. Binox. So they have these animated videos. So
Yeah.
okay. So your fourth question. Who's your best friend today, Shreyas?
Same, Risha.
Okay, wow, very nice. Okay, here's your final question. What makes you scared today?
Like, honestly, I feel like when I'm playing football, the ball just comes to my head, so I just get scared of that.
Okay, interesting. Please show me a thumbs up if all of us are done writing. Very nice. So now I want you to want all of us to look at the columns, right? And our answers. I want you to observe how the answers have changed so much. We'll all notice that the answers are so different, right? When you compare, you'll see you should be able to think that the answers have changed so much, right? So that I want to ask you a question. That doesn't this make you feel that you were a complete different person then as compared to now? Don't you feel that they're two completely different people? Because your best friend was someone else, you were scared of something different, you liked eating different foods, but now it's all changed. Do you agree with me that you're such a different person now? Very nice. That's great. So that brings me to my next point, that we were so different then, and that now we feel like we're a complete different person now, right? Here's a fun fact. Did you know that 1 million cells in your body dies every second, and they also regenerate every second? So there's 1 million cells dying, and there's 1 million cells taking birth in your body every second. That's approximately 1.2 kgs of cell that's dying and taking birth, which means there are a lot of cells in your body that just dies and the different one that just regenerate. Oh, it's like that's mind blown. If someone else is mind blown, you can show me that. So I want to ask you a question. So if there are 1 million cells dying, does that make you feel that, do you realize that all the cells are that there are these many cells that are dying, and does that make you feel you any less of the person you were the previous second? Show me a thumbs down if you agree. That is, you do not feel any less. Very nice. So, which means also I saw how most of us had showed me a thumbs up when I asked you if you agree if you were a very different person then, different person now, which means there's just one thing in common, which is our awareness that I exist. Even then, I'm sure you remember that you kind of knew for a fact that you exist, right? You knew that yes, I am here. This is me. You had that sense, right? Which is still present today. That's probably one of the very few things you have in common, the awareness that you exist. Similarly, it doesn't matter if these many cells are dying and there are different cells regenerating. There are organs that are entirely regenerating in every few months, and your entire body, all the cells and organs, they too are regenerating in a few years. But that doesn't change the fact that you feel aware. That doesn't change how aware or how less aware you are. You don't feel less complete just because some cells die. That awareness is intact each and every second, then and now. That's one thing that hasn't changed. Show me a thumbs up if you understood. No? Okay, excellent. That's the main thing I wanted to tell you. How awareness is something that never changes. You are always aware that you exist. You have that sense. Yes, I am here. Now, that is what Shloka 1 was telling us. Basically, how we have how there is this world is changing all the time. So there is a lot of misery because our mind likes to stick onto one thing. It likes holding onto one thing, but because the world keeps changing and we can't really hold on to that one thing and have it for the rest of our life, we feel some sense of sorrow, we feel some sense of frustration, we feel very anxious because of this changing world. And also Krishna says that there are these wise beings who realize that they are they who realize the truth, they become one with Krishna, is what Krishna is saying, and therefore they become free from this cycle of birth and death. Now, what I am telling you, trying to explain here is, because the person who was back there that we wrote about on the left column is so different, it's very similar to that person dying. So that person is no more. You are a complete different person. The person that I'm talking to is a very different person, who's someone who is not the same as that child we know those years back, right? So what doesn't change is awareness, is what we understood. Also, when you realize that I don't change, that means I don't have a birth, I don't have death, which means I am actually free from this circle of life and death, because I was never born and I will never die, because I'm just this awareness which doesn't go through all of these changes. And that is what Krishna means by saying some masters realize it and they become free from this cycle. And now that you all showed me your thumbs up, it means that all of us have realized it. And if we apply it well, we too are going to be free from the cycle of life and death. So, great job to all of you. Now, coming to shloka number 2, which tells us two important things. First of all, there are 14 different worlds. Like how Tejas also mentioned, that he says that there are different lokas after death, right? So there are always these 14 different worlds that are mentioned, as you can see on the screen. What Krishna says is that in all these lokas, there is birth and death. But only after you attain something that's beyond these lokas, only then are you attaining Krishna, and then there is no further rebirth. Let us understand this in detail. Before that, I want to ask you a question. Who knows what hell and heaven is? Who can explain? Yes. So, yes, Snigdha, first of all, you can unmute. Before you answer, I want to ask all of you a question. I want all of you to think about this. So, close your eyes and imagine a person in hell. Great. Now, imagine a person in heaven. Very nice. So now, Snigdha, I want you to answer. What is it that you imagined in hell? What was that person going through? What were his expressions, emotions? What was he going through?
The person was really sad, and he felt like leaving the place, but then he couldn't. He was just trapped in front of lots of devils and all that. Like basically, he wanted to leave, but he couldn't because he had done lots of bad things in life and all.
Okay, very nice. But tell me more about what do you think he was going through, like his emotions, what were his expressions?
He was very frustrated and like very you know, anxious. He wanted to leave so badly, and he was also really worried and very sad and all that. So he had like basically all the negative emotions you could think of.
Very nice. So Snigdha says what she imagined is a person with a lot of negative emotion, someone who's going through a lot, like nervous, anxious, sad, frustrated, all of these. So now, Snigdha, tell us, what was the person in heaven going through?
He
What did
was
you think of?
really cheerful and with a lot of joy, because heaven is it was a really good place, a really peaceful place. So he was in a lot of joy, he was very calm, and he was very happy. So we could say, when he was in heaven, he was in all the most positive emotions you could think of.
Very nice. So, ideally, saying a person in heaven was someone she thought of who is very calm, who is very happy, cheerful. He had a lot of positive emotions. So, I want you to show me two thumbs up if you agree with Snigdha. If you don't agree with one of it, you can show me a thumbs down. Or okay, so I see that most of us agree with Snigdha. But what is this idea of hell and heaven? We don't really know if there is actually a place like that after death, after life, if there are two different worlds called hell and heaven, and these things happen there. But what we do know for sure is that the description that Snigdha gave us is very much present in this world. Can you not think of the times when you felt trapped? I think of the moment when you felt you have an exam in 2 days, you can't go play, you feel trapped, you have to study now, right? Or the different things that make you feel trapped, that you can think of. And think of the times when you felt really sad, you felt frustrated. Why is this happening? Why can't I do something to solve it? Think of those times. Think of the times when you were really angry. This is about hell. Now, what Snigdha described about the person in heaven, she said he was really calm, he was happy. Now, think of all those moments when you tried to cheer someone, when you were really happy, when you were very calm, when you felt really peaceful. Probably when you were meditating, when you visited a temple, when you won a prize, just anything, when you were having ice cream, just different things. So, can you? So now that makes us question. We don't know about what's there up, like what's there in hell or heaven in these worlds, but whatever we know of them is sure present right here, right in front of us. So every moment you have the choice, even this very second, you have the choice to make your life hell or heaven. You have the choice to pick which world you want to live in, to pick the kind of emotions you want to have, the kind of emotions you want to be feeling. Do you want to be peaceful, calm, energetic, and happy, or otherwise? You do have the choice, and all of us have the power to make the choice. To kind of, we also kind of can the choices we make can also affect the people around us. You can also think of the moments when your friend was sad, but you went and cheered that person. So not only can you make heaven for yourself, but you can also try creating a heaven for people around you. Now let us look at these different lokas that are there. So you see these many different lokas, but what you see here, Bhor Loka, that's like something that's right in between. And all the lokas that are under Bhor Loka are basically what people associate with the negative emotions, or mostly the negative traits. Wherever you find descriptions about these lokas, and all the lokas that are above Bhor Loka are the lokas that are associated with the very positive ones. Now I just want you to look at the very first loka. There is a topmost loka. It's called Satya Loka. Does someone know the meaning of Satya? Yes, Tejas.
I think it means truth.
Very nice. Satya means truth. So, what we are trying to understand here is when Krishna tells us that as you go above these lokas, you become really happy, you become free from misery. So, what is really there in the topmost loka? It's all about truth. The moment you realize the truth, you become happy. But what is this truth? What truth are we talking about? Is it What kind of questions answer truth? Let me tell you the truth about our own self. Who am I? Am I this body? Am I this mind? Or then who am I really? I'm this awareness. Just this realization that I am actually this awareness, and not only realizing but also implementing this truth in our life. For instance, we all know, we all learned in the previous few shlokas how we realized the truth that we can perform all the duties in in keeping in mind that this is service to Krishna. So what happens when you realize and implement this? You become peaceful because you've surrendered to Krishna, and you know Krishna will take care of it, and you leave the fruits, but just perform the task at hand like you're doing a service to Krishna. Just focusing on that task alone can bring you a lot of happiness and can make you much peaceful. So now I want you to think about how are we supposed to make this world heaven, or how is this world very different from my world? Because isn't this world the same? So how is my world different from your world? So if my world is not different from your world, then how can I make a heaven? How can I make my world heaven? Now you will give me the answer. I just want you to think about what I'm saying. Let's just think about how you were as a child, like a baby, right? What were the things you knew about? What did you think the world was about? I'm sure, if not anything, we all knew about food, that we need food. That's something the babies also cry for, right? I need food, right? So we know for sure that there's food. For the baby, food is the only thing that is in the world. So what were the other things? How did our world develop, or how did our world change? Then one day you realized, oh, there's something that moves in the sky. And then you realize that, oh, that's called aeroplane. And these planes enter your mind. So now this becomes a part of your world. And then you realize that you are so lucky that you are a Bharatiya. You are born in such a wonderful nation and you get to be called as a Bharatiya. And you have that pride. So now India is a part of your world. Similarly, you learn one day at school, or you learn from your friends that there's this wonderful game called football, and then you start playing football. Now, football becomes a part of your world, right? So, as you grow old and as you start understanding things, as you start giving it importance, you start building your world. So, whatever you know about, whatever you give credit to, that yes, this exists, all of that is a part of your world. And what is your world? It's all in your mind. So, whatever you add in your mind becomes your world. It's like a painting. Whatever you draw, whatever color you add in on that canvas becomes a part of that painting. Similarly, it becomes your world. Your mind is your world. So how do we change it, or what does this understanding help me with? How am I going to implement this in my life? To understand this, I want you to think about a dark room. So what are some things? So what do you do if your room is dark? Let's say let's just say it's during the day that the room is really dark. That's okay. Let's just understand how does this happen. So why is this room so dark even during the day? Who wants to answer? Raise your hand if you want to. Yes, Snigdha.
Is it because like the way we see it?
No, just think.
Like
It's not the way
generally.
you just think about it in general. It's just a normal room you enter. It's
Oh,
really
okay.
sunny outside, but somehow the room is dark. Why do you?
Maybe because like if the curtains are all closed, the windows are closed, the door is closed, and like everything is like painted black, so and all the lights are off, so that's why the whole room is like pitch dark, pitch black.
Very nice. That's the most obvious answer, and that is the correct answer. So now just imagine this room that has no windows, that has no door that's open per se. You just opened it now, but otherwise it's closed all the time. Let's say the walls are really they're really bad. They've gone so bad because of all the water. It's kind of, you may feel that it's going to fall down any moment. It's so weak. So what do you do with that house? Because you have so many complaints about the house. What do you do about it? There's one thing. Yes, Sohan.
I would, if I have money, I'll repair the house. Otherwise, I'll leave that house and I'll go to another house. These are the two options.
Very nice, Sohan. So, Sohan suggests, let's just assume we're all super rich and we can afford reconstructing the house. So, in that sense, the most obvious and wonderful option is to reconstruct the house. So, you start building the house the way you want. Now, what do you do? While you build the room, you add windows, big windows, so light comes in, and you make the wall so strong with all the cement, and you use good materials to make the house, so the wall is also super strong, right? Like that you build the house again. What about your world? What about your mind? If you feel you are too angry, you're angry all the time, little things make you angry, or you feel I'm really sad, or you don't feel good about yourself, oh, why can't I solve this math problem? Why can't I play football so well? Why can't I score a goal? Why can't I hit a six in cricket? So if you have all of these questions about, and if you feel you don't really like how you are, you don't like your personality, this is not how I should be, you feel very nervous when you speak on stage, then you can change all of that. We need to renovate your personality, and you can do that. You can renovate your entire personality and build a brand new super amazing super awesome personality by just making those little changes. There are two very important things. First of all, if you're complaining, oh, I get angry too often, then you need to find out the root cause. So why are you angry? So you may come up with reasons. So as soon as I start from home to go to school, it starts raining. That makes me really angry. Or my friend talks rudely, so I feel really angry. So are you sure those are that is why you're angry? There's so many different things that make you angry, but there, you also see that there's some people who really calm the same situation. When they face the same situation, even in those similar situations, they still manage to be calm and peaceful. So what's the difference? Then you know that you'll have to train your mind, you'll have to understand the very truth of life, right? Then you start practicing little things like meditating for, let's say you start by meditating 5 minutes every day. So there are these little things that you do. So you first identify the root cause and then you implement. Very simple. Just like how Snigdha helped us. This is a dark room. Why can't I see anything? Why is there so much darkness? So we identified that there are no windows. That's the reason it's so dark. And then you implement it. You reconstruct the house. And when you're reconstructing the house, you add more windows. You build the house with a lot of windows. Similarly, if you're not very happy with your personality, you can renovate this entire personality by making, first of all, identifying why, and then making those changes. With that, you will be able to change your personality and be anyone you want to be. You have that choice. You have the choice to choose the personality by building it, and with your personality you also choose the kind of world you are living in, be it heaven or hell. Now, with all of this plethora of understanding, I want you all to summarize it to 2 to 3 lines and share it with all of us. Let's begin. But before that, are there any doubts? Please raise your hands if you have any doubt. Yes, Grihit. Do you have a doubt?
Needs Akshat.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Akshat, you have a doubt?
I have a doubt in the last part you told. I couldn't understand how it is hell and
Yes, Akshat. So, which part of it?
hell and
Changing your
heaven.
personality? That part?
About that, is your personality different to that one?
How you can change your personality? That part?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So is there so let me just ask you a question. Is there something that you feel you need to change and something that's not very right about your own self?
Yeah,
Can you name just one of them?
I write very badly.
Okay, excellent. So Akshat has this problem. Akshat has this problem that he thinks it's a complaint that he feels, okay, this is something I don't really like. Maybe I need to improve it. So Akshat did a very awesome, he did an amazing job in identifying the problem. That yes, there is this issue of bad handwriting. Now, how do you think you can improve your handwriting, Akshat? Can you think of some ways you can improve handwriting?
Copywriting.
Hmm?
Yeah, writing copywriting.
Copywriting. See, you also have the solution. You can use copywriting books, maybe practice good writing, just copy and try to get it right with little bit of practice. Maybe spend 5 to 10 minutes every day. Another thing you can probably try doing is to every time you're writing, being more mindful about how you're writing, because I think sometimes when you're trying to write something quickly, probably in your exam, or when you're copying something from the board, you're in a hurry to just copy, and maybe you're not very mindful about how your handwriting is. That's one reason why it kind of messes up. But maybe if you're a little bit more mindful, I'm sure you'll see a lot of improvement. So Akshat, this is what we're trying to understand here, is that any kind of uh, problem that you identify within your own personality, I wouldn't say a problem, but maybe an area which you think which needs improvement. When you think you have such kind of areas, and what you need to do is identify what that is and then find solutions. And what we are trying to understand through this shloka is that it's very easy and it's very much possible for you to actually change all those little things and be a better version of yourself, bring out that wonderful personality, the very best personality of yours outside. Does that make it clear?
So if we change these things, our character will itself change.
Correct. It's those little changes that when you keep getting them better, then you'll notice that over a period of time, you become such a much more wonderful Akshat. You'll see that phenomenal improvement in your own personality. Does that make it better?
Yes. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Okay. I don't see any more hands raised. With that, let's share our understanding. Who wants to go first?
I'll share.
Okay. Yes, Tej. Yes, Akshat.
And I just now told that this small things will be changed. It changes our character. And the second thing I understood that the heaven and the hell is also in one way. I thought that heaven and the hell is in the same place where we are living in. If we feel bad, it's hell, and if we feel good, it's heaven.
Very nice, Akshat. Excellent. Okay. Yes, Tejas.
So, what I understood is, besides the heaven and hell thing, if the only way you can feel, like, this is my own understanding, the only way you can feel like less bad about being punished for what you have done, you first of all you have to find out why you did that mistake. Second of all, you first have to think what you could have done. Like what was it? Second of all, what you have to think, you have to accept the mistake. Third thing, you have to think about why you did it, and also if there is another solution despite like instead of making a mistake. Another thing is the you only the way you see heaven and hell is basically how you are on earth, like the most basic thing, like heaven good, hell bad. So so if you are a horrible person, a very deceitful, covetous, greedy, everything, you will see the world as a disaster to you, because because of karmas, right? It'll not only affect this life, it'll affect the next life. So you have to atone for whatever you have done wrong. So if you do wrong, you will get wrong back. So life will be like hell for you. And in the case of heaven, if you do good things, if you're kind and everything, it won't just give you a good life. It will give you challenges and give you the strength to get through those obstacles. So that's what I understood.
Very nice, Tejas. Amazing. My favorite part from your entire explanation, amongst the others, was also how to handle constructive criticism. So the next time your teacher or your parents or your friends tell you, oh, see, I think this is a mistake you made, then rather than just reacting immediately, maybe you can take some time, think, and do the three things that Tejas suggested. So, one, you actually think about the situation, and if you feel that yes, maybe you could have handled that better, then you accept your mistake. One. Second, you look at why did you do that in the first place. You understand the reason. Third, you see if there's something that you can do to improvise and to not repeat the same thing in future. Very nice, Tejas. Amazing. Yes, Nigda.
So what I understood in the shloka is first part is about heaven and hell. They're not just like two places in the above, but they're actually just two perspectives of this world. So it's kind of like one of the shlokas Vijayji explained in the 7th chapter. So it's like where whatever you do or whatever decisions you take, it always has two perspectives, and it depends how you take that perspective. So there was like this example where there'll be a girl and she has a haircut, and then her friend will be complimenting her and saying that wow, your haircut is really nice, and then she'll feel happy. But then in the other perspective, her friend will say that it makes you look thin, and she becomes sad. But these two are the perspectives. But maybe the friend told that your face looks thin because um, maybe she told it as a compliment, but the girl took it in a different way, as if she's teasing her. So she took it in a different way. So it's just like this world. So the way we take in whatever is going on, the way we take in the things, that's how we feel if it's like hell or heaven. So if we take the things really badly or negatively, then obviously our world will feel like hell. But then if we take things in a gooder way and in a good perspective, then we'll be able to, then it'll feel like heaven. So it always, when you want to feel your place as heaven, it also depends on the decisions you make to feel that way. And yeah, I think that's what I understood. And also, when you have a really negative mind, let's say if you want to improve in something, then you can always do it. Like how you gave the example of this pitch dark room, or like our house is only pitch dark, and then instead of just leaving that house and going somewhere else, we can reconstruct the same house into making it more colorful and adding more windows, adding more doors, and making it more decorative. That's how we make our house. That house is like our mind. So first, our mind is like full pitch dark because we did not realize what we had done wrong or like anything. So then later, after we realize what we had done or what wrong thing we have in our mind, we can create that pitch dark room in our mind into a really colorful and creative house in our mind. That's what I understood in the shloka.
Very nice, Snigdha. Thank you so much. Snigdha also highlighted this very important thing in the meaning, because here Krishna says once you realize the truth, that is what helps you with all of this. And he also says that they have attained highest perfection and they become free from this birth and the death cycle. Another thing that you need to understand is that when you think about yourself, as the body, as your mind, as your personality, now that is not something that is true. And only when the moment you will not be able to change anything if you think of yourself as the body, mind, and your personality. The moment you shift your perspective in and understand the truth, the moment you realize that you are actually the awareness, something that's beyond the body, mind, and personality, something that's much more powerful, only when you realize that will you be able to make changes to your body, to your mind, to your personality. Just like how you have a painting, the painting can't change itself, right? Think about it. Can a painting change itself, or can a house renovate itself? Not really. Only the painter or the person who owns that house, only he can make changes. For instance, only the artist can add more vibrant colors. He can draw different things, add more characters into the painting. So the moment you think, the moment you realize that you are the awareness, that makes you realize that you are powerful enough to change your personality, to alter your personality and become the best version. Okay, yes, Grihit, what did you understand?
I understood that when you lead, you should never step back and let others in front of you. Always you should be in the front and lead it.
Could you explain it in like maybe with an example? Like what exactly you're trying to tell us?
Like a running race. A running race, if you are going in the front and your friend tells you to stop, and then you stop and wait for your friend, till then the other racers will go off front. So you should never wait. And you should lead it.
Okay.
But Grihit,
So,
how did you come to this understanding from the shloka, or from what explanation that Manyaka gave?
I understood from. I make my own understandings and then I get it to this.
Okay, all right. So this is a whole different topic. Maybe we can discuss separately. Let's focus on what Manyaka taught and listen to what the understanding others are sharing.
Okay.
okay. Yes, who else wants to share? Sohan, what did you understand from the shloka?
I actually understood that you should not be ego. If you be ego, the death and the birth cycle will continue for you. If you are good, the birth and death cycle will not continue for you. And first you have to understand Krishna. Then the cycle will not, the death and the birth cycle will not happen.
Very nice, Sohan. It's very important to understand our true nature. Kripalini, do you want to share your understanding?
Like, I understood that like hell and heaven are just our perspectives of the world, or other perspectives, and after we are like attained Krishna, the death and birth cycle won't continue.
Very nice. Excellent, Sanvi. Sorry, excellent, Kripalini. Wonderful. Sanvi, do you want to share your understanding?
What I understood was this world keeps on changing. It lies on the perspective on how we see it, and we are attached to whatever we have seen in the world before, and we don't want the world to change. I also understood that we are not, Krishna is saying that we are not born, so therefore we do not die also, and we are free of that birth and death cycle. I also understood that you shape your life after death on depending on how you live the life. If you did many good deeds, then you'll go to heaven. If you did many bad deeds, you'll go to hell. You have the choice to shape your future in after death.
So would that also mean that in this very moment, what you do would in fact decide whether your world is a hell or heaven in the very next moment? For instance, let's say you have an exam tomorrow. So if you study now, then that will make you very peaceful, which is heaven, right? Tomorrow. So that will make you very calm during the exam. But let's say you choose not to study and do something else, because studying at that moment is a priority, but you do something else, then that will make you more nervous and anxious. So is that becomes hell in the very next moment. So do you also think that we're kind of choosing through our actions what our world is the very next moment?
No, like not only actions, it depends on our thoughts also. So it based on the whole life which we decide to live. God decides whether we go to heaven or hell.
Okay.
Correct. However, Sanvi, what Manyaka is asking is, so what happens after death? That is unknown. But what happens right now, based on your current decision, how your next moment will be, is that something that you are choosing, or are you not able to choose?
We we get to choose whether we want to go to heaven or we want to go to hell.
That is not the question that Manyaka is asking. Manyaka is asking, imagine, tomorrow you have exam. And let's say you have not studied for the exam. How do you feel about exam? If you go and sit in the room, how will you be feeling inside the exam hall?
We'll be feeling sad that we did not study. We'll be feeling guilty.
And what is the emotions that all of you felt when Manyaka asked you to imagine about hell, a place where there is sadness, there is anger, there is worry? Is it not?
Yes, ji.
So in a way, that exam hall becomes a hell for you. Is it not?
Yes, ji.
And where is it happening? In your mind, when you're sitting in the exam hall. And why did it happen? Because now you did not study for the exam. Correct, no?
Yes, ji.
What happens after death? That is a separate topic. But by your current action, in the exam hall, you have created a hell for yourself. Correct, no?
Yes, ji.
Similarly, imagine now you have studied well. Same exam hall, how does it feel like?
We feel very happy that we studied.
And does it not feel peaceful to sit and write the exam?
Yes, ji.
So what is the emotion that you connected with heaven?
We feel happy that we are able to write the exam.
So have you not created a heaven for yourself?
Yes, ji.
By choosing what to do now, is it not?
Yes, ji.
So that is what Manyaka is pointing at.
Okay, ji.
Thank you, Vijay. Yes, Shreyas, what's your understanding?
So I understood that there are after we die, there are 14 worlds we have to enter, like Pataloka and Swargaloka and in those also there are types. So here if we attended Krishna, if we attended Krishna, we no need to continue the process of rebirthing. And if you want to make yourself you want to change your perspective, you have to take out your problems and you have to find what is the problem, how to overcome that problem, find a solution, and make new perspectives. That's what I understood.
Very nice, Shreyas. Very nice. Snigdha, do you want to add something?
Yeah, like I don't know, I just got this question all of a sudden. Like, you told that Satyaloka is like the highest one. So, Satya means truth. And you said that when we get the truth, we'll like be absolutely free. But some people say, like sometimes, for some people, the truth actually hurts. So how are they exactly free?
Right. So it's a wonderful question. So I want you to think of it this way. So that so many different kinds of truths, right? So one truth could be Snigdha, sorry, I just ask you, hey, what's your name? Then you'd be like, I'm Snigdha. So now that is a truth. Is that not true? That is a truth, right? So there's so many truths. One is that your name is Snigdha. One is that sun rises from the east. Like that, there's so many different truths. Now, if I ask Shreyas, for instance, hey, what's your name? Then Shreyas says, my name is Shreyas. So is that not true? His name is actually Shreyas, right?
Yeah.
So there are some truths that are different for different people. For instance, if I ask you, is it day or night this moment? So we'd say it's kind of night. But if we'd ask a person in some other part of the world if it's a day or night, he might say it's day. So this is a truth that changes from person to person based on place, situation, what that person is feeling at that moment. It changes. And those are the kind of truths that some people refer to when they say truth hurts. In the sense when you believe something to be true, and all of a sudden when the person comes and tell you that that is not true, but this is the truth, then that hurts. But the truth that Krishna is
Before you
referring.
go further, can I add one example there?
Yes, Vijayji.
So now imagine Snigdha as an example. Let's assume you're very good at drawing, okay, and everyone is praising you, and you always like to show your drawing, and everybody claps for you. And let's say like that, tomorrow also you show to another person, and that person looks at the drawing and says, "Ayyo, such crappy drawing, such useless drawing. Who drew this?" Let's say if somebody says like that, how does it make you feel?
Sad.
Sad. Why did it make you feel sad?
Because they just insulted me and they told that it's wrong.
No, they did not insult you. That person, in that person's viewpoint, drawing is something else. So that person doesn't think the way you have drawn is a nice drawing, because his definition of nice drawing is something else. So
Yeah.
because he thinks like that, he might have simply said, "Oh, this is not nice drawing." He may not have intended to insult you, but you took it as insult, correct?
Yeah.
What made you feel insulted?
The way he said it, and I took it in a
No, the
different.
belief that my drawings are very nice.
Oh,
Correct? No?
yeah.
Because you thought the way you draw is the nicest way. Maybe that other person thinks of nice drawing as some other way. You see, like that, sometimes such belief-based statements can hurt. Please continue, Manyaka.
Right. So some truths might hurt if taken in a certain way. Now, but the particular kind of truth that Krishna is mentioning or referring to in these shlokas is the absolute or the universal truth, something that all of us will agree to. Not all of us will agree that my name is Snigdha or my name is Manya. We'll have different kinds of truths. Or I am a girl, I'm an Indian. So all of this changes from person to person. But there is one truth which is universal, which each and every person can agree to once they realize, once they question themselves. And what is that truth? The truth is about my own true nature. Who am I? Am I truly this body, this mind, or what else am I truly? The answer is as we all through different experiments by questioning ourselves, we came to this answer that I am this awareness, that I am this very awareness that I exist. That awareness is who I truly am. I'm Krishna, and Krishna and me are no different. Now, this is the truth that they're referring to, and this truth should ideally not hurt and will actually never hurt, but only make you feel much more peaceful and calm when you realize the truth, this particular truth. Does that help you understand?
Yeah.
Great.
I wanted to add something like related to the perspectives thing. So, like an example. So, like when I was small, I used to watch this like cartoon, and in that cartoon there used to be this let's say a cub who used to like usually teach some things, and like once he drew a drawing, but then the drawing somehow it like he mistakenly like scratched the drawing, and then he thought that the whole drawing was ruined. So that was his perspective. So he took it in a different way, that oh, my drawing is ruined. But then his one of his friends told him that your drawing is not always ruined. You can actually make a new drawing out of it. It's just like the example you told about the painting. So let's say there's nothing on the canvas. You can't just say that this, like, let's say for example the whole canvas is black, pitch black. Then it's not like you cannot go and draw on it. You can change the canvas and you can draw a very beautiful painting even though it is black in color. So it also doesn't really matter on how the object appears. It always matters on how you take in the thing, and how you put forward, how you put forward, and how you react to it, or what you do when that happens. That's another thing which I understood.
Very nice, Nikta. Excellent. So you can look at the same blank canvas as something that's empty, or you can look at it as an opportunity for you to add something nice. Very nice. With that, we conclude this shloka with so many new understanding and perspectives. With that, I'd request all of you to please chant along with me with being on mute. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Manyaka. Thank you all. Wonderful.